people go and pay $60 for someone to do this. I got all my stuff from the Dollar Tree.
Those are insane. Did you put any stars in there?
I did not. I'm
No
not
stars
I'm not
today?
that skilled.
Well, she's got enough glitter going on. I think it's fine.
I like sparkles. All right.
I'm good with it.
All that's not glitter is gold.
Oh,
like gold.
yes.
I'm a fan of gold.
Is this Monday?
I don't know. I think so.
The Toyota San Bernardino Recording Studio presents IE Newswire Daily with Roy Bleckert
Is that a
and
Rolling
Stephanie
Rock body?
Meyer. So sit back and enjoy the show.
Yes, we are. We're coming back on a Monday on that. All the stuff on Monday Night Football, Packers versus the Vikings, and that should be a pretty good game. As they are. Oh, you're good.
I know. I haven't done that in a while.
Yeah, you're going to do that on the. Well, it's Christmas. We're not going to give you a demerit for leaving the.
I like getting yelled at though.
It's a Christmas season. Why would you want to?
It's a Christmas miracle.
I did that, and that's what I said. I did a video on IE Newswire that of because the rains were coming in, obviously, in that. But I said, back off. I know everybody gets the angst of that. It's the last 2 days, and those of you that are running around, in a panic on doing this and shopping and back and forth and to and fro. But just back
Cooking
up, calm down.
And wrapping presents.
The main thing is we don't want to report on the stories of anybody getting killed or something or maimed on that. And plus, we need every listener on board.
We really do
on that because we're going to come back with some bigger and better stuff on after the first of the year. So that's coming up here pretty soon, and we need all of you on board to do that. So we want each and every one of you out there on that to. Are
we sharing our news on Monday?
Yes.
The 30th.
We got a big announcement coming up on that. We got a lot of big announcements, some big stuff coming up on the show. We're gonna have a special posting. We'll look for it on Christmas Day, which will.
Am I supposed to be doing something?
Which will be coming up with something very special. We'll be announcing next Monday. So,
if I get it done in time.
Don't blow the surprise.
What?
Shh.
I'm just saying.
Everything
falls on anyone that watches the show knows that anything you want done falls on me.
You have a very hard time keeping a secret.
I do not. You know how many secrets I have on you? I haven't shared them while we're on.
Oh, boy. We got that. Wow. We got a lot of stuff coming up. We're gonna
bypass that one.
Yeah, I'm wondering what the hell's going on now.
I'm just kidding. I don't know.
No, you're not.
I know.
Oh, we got stuff coming up. We got a lot of stuff we're going to cover. The whole Bill Cosby Saturday night Eddie Murphy stuff that come up on that was really interesting. It sparked a lot of stuff, and the irony of that, I think, is absolutely fabulous. But we're going to do that. We're talking a little bit of the impeachment. I thought Cory Booker's deal on Meet the Press was very interesting, what he had to say. Not only is he a U.S. senator who may or may not vote on impeachment, who knows if he gets to the Senate, but he's also a presidential candidate for the Democratic nomination. So that made it a little bit. But we're going to do some tests on that. So anybody that wants to call in, we've got Dwayne on Skype, and we're still testing to see if he can hear the callers on that. So we're doing some equipment. So anybody that's out there,
I get to play the crash.
Yes, anybody that out there wants to call in, wish us a Merry Christmas, just say anything. The phone number is
951
242
5397.
Yes, you got it. Wow.
How was it? 242.
You blanked on that one a little bit. But
I know, that's why I pointed.
I know that's why you. But when I said that, no, 951
242
5397. Give us a ring so we can test out our equipment. So when we kick off all the new exciting stuff after the first of the year, we have everything up and running and working correctly and no excuses.
And you say I suck at secrets.
I ain't saying what it is.
And the phone number is in the comments as well, just in case you didn't hear Roy mumbling it.
There you go. So
spread the word. calling people.
Did you see the video from the Corona cops and the canine out in Corona?
I did, but you know what? It was so great that I think we should replay it so I can
we
see it
should
again.
replay it again.
Just in case I missed it.
I am
and
doing
lying.
this because my mom called me about 37 times saying, I'm requesting you to play the video of Canine Duke and Corona. And this,
Well, then you better play it.
yes, that's why
Give your
it's
mama what she
that's
wants.
why we're putting it up first, front and center, so I
There
don't
you go,
forget-
Mama.
so I don't forget, and because I'm not 100% stupid on this stuff. But I will tell you this in plain, straight English: this cop has some balls. I mean, he goes. This is amazing of what this absolutely fabulous, no fear, no concern for nothing except doing the job he was trained and set out to do, and did it absolutely excellent. So, Jesse, when you have the video ready, this is the KTLA report on the Corona incident after a high-speed chase. Let it roll.
Video, and believe it or not, Duke was not injured in the incident. Tonight he's in great spirits knowing that he took down a suspect. Duke has a mean bark, one that also matches his fierce bite. This is Duke in action early this morning as he helped authorities apprehend a suspect at the end of a chase from Fontana to Corona.
I'm very proud of him. Duke was a military dog. He went to Iraq, did his time over there, and came back.
Because of that training, Duke and his partner, Officer Michael Neff, were called in for backup when stalking suspect Julio Vasquez refused to surrender. Officers used spike strips to bring the vehicle to a stop and shot rubber pellets to shatter the window. That's when Duke made his move.
That is
Whoa.
insane.
We trained for that exact scenario.
Where's he biting him
weekly,
at, though?
Minus the broken glass, so our dogs don't get hurt. But
Oh,
for Duke,
It
was
looked
just
like he was.
another exercise.
The suspect struggled as Duke held on tight before officers opened the door.
He came out still swinging at Duke, and then he tried to swing at an officer. So then we had to take him down to the ground.
As for Duke, not a scratch on the 6-year-old Belgian Malinois.
Watching him perform the way he did is very rewarding for me and our canine team, because it's a lot of hard work that we put into, and to see that play out, it's really nice to watch.
When not in action, Duke is one playful canine.
He's not like this at home. He's a normal dog. He's calm, relaxed, but when he gets in that police car, when he sees me in my uniform, he knows it's work time.
You go, doggy.
So, Stephanie, the first time you seen that, what was your reaction?
That would be terrifying to be that guy in that car. Not that he doesn't deserve it. I'm not saying that, but that dog was ready to go. That was awesome. I want one for my house.
Yes, yeah, that's one hell of a protection dog.
Yeah.
Dwayne, have you seen that video before?
That's
No,
awesome.
that was the
How old
first
is that
I
video? Is
saw
that?
I think it happened on Friday.
Oh,
It
okay.
happened, we didn't catch it on Friday, but I wanted to make sure that I think it happened, or they released it on Friday. It might have been Thursday, or it was out Friday, but we didn't catch it, so I wanted to make sure. But you
Your
hadn't
mom
seen
was
that.
very wise for having you play that.
Yes.
That's an awesome video.
Yes, it is. So this is your first
How
time.
freaking terrifying, though. Oh, my God.
Yes, it is. So this is your first time seeing that video, so we're really getting your first reaction when you seen that.
Absolutely. Incredible. That dog, Fearless, is not even.
Yeah.
I mean, that dog was in that window half a second after they popped it. I mean,
Mhm.
that was awesome.
And all the training they put into those dogs, too. It's nice that his action. That was crazy.
Yes.
I want to watch it again.
Replay
Well,
that.
we don't have to.
Yeah,
but-
well, yeah. So cue it up again, and we will, because I mean that you can.
How fast he is, though, and he's so aggressive.
You
It's
could, you could
insane.
never get tired. I mean, I couldn't get tired of watching that.
Do you think
particular
there's
video.
any way that he would have broken free from that dog? Like, I don't think there's any way that dog was letting up on his grip. Like,
No,
whatsoever.
that guy was in.
I want to know where he was biting him, though. It looked like he was biting his neck, and that's scary. I mean, he should be. I'm sure he's trained to bite and grab on, so he's hurting him, but God, that was scary.
Yes, it was.
I never want to do anything bad because I don't want that dog coming after me.
No, as I said, now that's an officer that's got some balls.
Yeah.
He had no gun, no nothing on that, and he went just driving straight through there.
Yeah.
And what amazed me is going through that broken glass, he didn't get cut. He didn't get
all the punches and everything.
Yeah.
Was he's fine? He's okay?
Yeah, they said he didn't suffer any injuries. No regard for his own personal safety or anything,
Yeah.
man. He just went, they released him, and I mean, that dog went, I mean, just bullet right in there and got the job done.
Yeah,
Like I say, that, I mean, he walked into the line of fire on that with that on that. And we'll see, we got a caller on the line. Chris, welcome to the show with Stephanie, Roy, and Dwayne. Do we have Chris? Did you, Chris, are you there? Hello, Chris. Maybe we lost
I think
Chris.
we lost Chris.
If you're out there, Chris, call in again. We'll see if we can hook you up on that.
We're going to go ahead and blame Jesse for pushing
Yes.
the wrong button.
Of that.
I'm just kidding. He's going to throw something
No,
at me. I'm sorry.
See, it wasn't Mr. Mean over here that said that.
He's training
That-
me. He's rubbing
That
off.
dog is incredible.
Yes.
I've never seen a dog do that. Can you imagine? That guy had to have soiled himself when that dog
I think
got
that dog was so quick, though, that he probably didn't even see him coming.
Here it comes.
Like, out of nowhere.
Here it
He's
comes
just
again.
There.
Bam!
Look at that.
I mean, he's
And then
moved-
he's hitting the dog. I hope the dog's biting him harder.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, you got a mean animal like that, and you just pissed him off some more by trying to, which is probably a natural reaction. I mean, if a dog's biting you, I mean, you're trying to get it off of you.
Yeah.
I mean, that, which is it's a wonder. It reminds me when I get I did something. Well, you never.
Oh, yeah. Please tell us this story.
You never want to get in the middle of a dog fight, not physically or put you in. I had a Newfoundland back in the day on that, and next door, the neighbors next door had a German Shepherd, kind of similar to that, and those two hated each other. They would fight and all that, and my dog's name was Offenhauser, named after the famed racing engine. Charlie was the German Shepherd next door. Charlie could run from the end of the lot, or the end of the backyard, and scale the 6-foot wood fence. So one day, and I'm probably about 10 years old or so, I'm going out because there's all fields around there. We're going out to do something, play or whatever, run the dog. So I'm walking that. Here comes Charlie. Oh, makes the big plunge over the 6-foot fence. Boom. He's on top of, I mean, these two are fighting. And Roy decides, oh, I'm going to break this fight up. So I walked in there and stuck my hand
Oh, my God.
I'm trying to grab them and pull them apart. And let me see if I can see the scar here on my wrist. It's still in there. Well, Charlie let go of they were doing. He let go of that and grabbed right onto my arm.
Wow.
I mean, blood's gushing out,
Oh.
stuff like that. So if you see two dogs, that's why I say when you see two, that's what reminded me kind of that of the aggressiveness of that animals. When you get two dogs fighting like that. I mean, or a dog that gets when they get in that mode, the only thing they know is and they don't care who, what, or it is, man, they're on kill. And
Yeah.
I mean, they just don't back off or nothing for nothing.
Ann writes in, I'm so impressed with Duke with his tail wagging and wanted others to see this.
Yes, Duke's a
He's right.
badass.
Mm-hmm.
I concur.
You're in trouble.
Why am I in trouble? What did I do?
You said a bad word.
Well, he is.
He is.
Again, like I say, and
And
what
Doris writes in, Merry pre-Christmas from Memphis. Merry Christmas, Doris, and thank you for tuning in.
Yes, you do. Everybody in there. Yeah, everybody's tuning in. Put in some good Merry Christmas, holiday cheer, Hanukkah, whatever you're celebrating this holiday season. Happy New Year, whatever it is on the deal. We're in a good mood at that, and it's a great mood.
He's in a good mood.
And well, I'm always in a great mood. But again, it was astounding to me because if you watch that, and actually, we should probably find, or it would be great if we could find that on YouTube and run the slow motion down on it. Because as he's jumping through the window, and I don't know how he didn't cut himself, you can see him actually hit the broken glass on one side, and you see it kind of go. How that dog didn't get cut, just going through that.
Well, maybe it's the way that the glass broke too, because don't they make that glass? Isn't it like kind of like?
Well, yeah, it was
paper, so
already
doesn't get
shattered.
cut?
Yeah, and that's what made it more dangerous. Because I mean, where he's going through and where he's bumping up or going through the door, and it's hitting him in the side, it's already jagged and
Right.
all that. How he didn't get cut going through that door is amazing. How he didn't suffer any injuries at all going
I
through
want
that.
one.
Yeah, well, man, that's a
Santa, bring me a tack doggy for Christmas.
yes. You
If you're listening, if you're watching.
a trained tack.
I heard Santa Claus does watch every once in a while.
Well, he does it, but that's a special dog because I've seen them work. That dog has an instinctive, just that he's probably like the elite of that. The way he went, like I say, the way he went in there like that, of that, and then when they pull him out, he doesn't want to let go. I mean, he's just like,
Yeah.
he's just like,
He's hungry.
yes, he was.
Susan writes in, Merry Christmas to all and the best New Year ever. We all deserve it.
Yes, we do.
Can't wait for this year to be over.
Well, you
So
don't
excited
you don't
for
have
New-
long
no,
to wait.
I'm so excited for New Year's Eve. I've never been more into New Year's Eve ever in my life.
Really?
Yeah.
What are you doing, Stephanie, for New Year's?
I don't know. I don't want to talk about it. No, we're doing something fun. We're still coming up with
Still in the
plans.
planning stages of
But I just want to be in a room filled with a bunch of people that I care about most. Not too many people, but I don't know. I just want to bring in the new year. Fun, good mood.
we should.
No anger, no sadness, just happy.
Yes.
And with food, because
Tell-
I'm hungry.
Tell that to
All
the
the time.
Bernie bots over there.
Who's the Bernie bots?
That were over in Merino Valley. They were all the ones that are telling us how
Oh my gosh.
great is. And we'll segue into that. So have the Cory Booker clip up
What are you talking about?
on that. Because here's, where the negative is?
Oh, now you're going negative on my New
Yes.
Year's Eve plan.
And this is where we at.
Right.
Trump is a guy that's positive. Trump always talks about what we're going to do, how we're going to be bigger, how we're going to help everybody, how we're really going to help everybody. He doesn't do it until others attack him by knocking down. He says, this is how we're going to build things up. Then you have the nattering nabobs of negativism that come out and want to cut him down for every reason. But there's a key piece, and this is why impeachment and all this stuff is nonsense and not going over. It was nothing other than Democratic Senator from New Jersey, Cory Booker, who was on the Sunday morning talk show Meet the Press on NBC and doing an interview with F. Chuck Todd, as somebody calls him, who's the host of that. So he was going on, he's interviewing them, and Todd's F. Chuck Todd is interviewing Cory Booker on this. And this little tidbit comes up, and this is very interesting, but you're going to see why and where the negativity really comes from and how it spreads, and this is how we're going to dissipate it in 2020. So let the clip of Cory Booker roll, Mr. Producer. As we're rolling it up, why did the clip disappear? I saw it there for a second.
Yeah, I can't hear
See
any
my
audio.
No,
Right here,
that's
though?
why I'm
He's
talking,
watching too.
because Jesse is...
All of us, on both sides of the aisle, we're just fatigued of this. So much noise,
Right.
So much obfuscation, so much distraction. Let's just get to the facts and move on as a nation from this very sad period.
Well, I actually want to play you a clip of a couple of basically voter responses to the impeachment. One is from 1998, and one is from a voter in Iowa from the last week. Take a listen.
Him dropping his pants with somebody in the White House isn't going to affect my bottom line.
I think he's a jerk, but things are getting done. I think it's just a ploy to try to not get Trump elected.
Stop there.
Senator, I bring that
That's
up
good.
because
First, the part of fatigue. Well, Cory Booker, why aren't you calling out Nancy Pelosi, the Democrats, Bernie Sanders, and AOC, and Goofball, Schiff, and Nadler that have all been pushing all this stuff. And you know what? All of them at any point could have stopped this. They didn't. That's your side of the story. Now, this is what I'm trying to say. Look at where the negative comes from. Like that. Like in 98. You're not going to pitch the president out for the intern giving him a Hummer under the desk in the White House. Like the guy said.
I thought you were talking about the car for a minute. And then you said under the desk. And then ding.
Yes, it went
bulb.
ding, ding, ding. And the gentleman in Iowa, heartland of that's almost in the center of America. And Iowa is a swing state, is one of the states that determines whether who is president in the United States. And we won't get into the machinations of that. But it's a very important election, how it goes. And he said, I don't particularly like Trump, the way he does it, but things are going good. And you don't impeach a president over this. You don't get rid of a guy. And he said, they're playing election politics with this because they don't like him, and they want to win. They are going after, and they will use any tactic, as Mason Weaver says, and hopefully we'll have him on this week or next, coming back up. As he says, they are the ones that are keeping you on the plantation. They are the ones that are feeding you the negativity, like that. And when you ask them the questions, you heard, go back to my IE Newswire piece at the Bernie bot deal. Where was all the negativity coming from? Bernie, Bernie, Bernie. And look at when I asked them, well, why do you support Bernie? Oh, he's doing this and this. Well, how are you going to do that? And then they start into the negatives, especially the one about the negative and you're a troll.
Because you're making her feel stupid. You can't make people feel stupid. They're going to get mad.
I cannot. Only you as an individual can make yourself look stupid. I cannot do that.
You drive me insane. I know, but when you talk to people a certain way, that's making them feel like you're superior to their thoughts. And then I think that's why she was getting upset.
Are you saying that he engages in condescension?
Every day.
Well, come on. I watched.
No, but that's why she was upset, though, because she was feeling dumb. And you were asking.
Was she dumb?
But you were making her feel dumb by the questions you were asking. I'm not saying if she was stupid or dumb because I don't want to offend anyone
Were those
that
the
might be
pertinent
watching,
questions that needed to be asked?
They were, but I'm saying why she was getting angry was because you're making her feel stupid. Kind of like how I'm getting angry right now because you're making me feel like I look stupid.
Maybe I'm making her think.
You are, but people don't accept that. Ever.
No.
Especially coming from you. Because it's just annoying.
A certain portion
Whatever,
of the
Roy.
population does not want to think this. And that's where the problem is. Tom Del Beccaro talks about in The Divided Era, and he's been so spot on. He wrote that book almost, I think, in 2010. Oh, well, will be 10 years ago. And he said that's what the problem is in our politics. I think me and Dwayne talked a little bit about it, even back in the Reagan years. Reagan never had a Republican, I don't think, Congress. He had Tip O'Neill, which was like, in most cases, 180 degrees opposite philosophically. But they got along, and they worked on stuff. They worked on legislation and actually worked on stuff for the good of the American people. Just like Pelosi worked with Donald Trump, reshaping the NAFTA agreement with that. The day after she impeached, she led the charge to impeach him. Now, this is why we are having the problem. Like the second gentleman said, I don't necessarily like Trump, but things are going good, and they're doing this for pure political reasons to try and damage Trump. And this is, in my view, what needs to be exploited on this. What do you say, Dwayne?
I agree to a certain extent, but here's the thing. We need to back up a little bit. Even you're getting caught up in this whole redefinition era. Donald Trump has not been impeached. The House, first of all, if Nancy decides she's going to walk a letter across the street and give it to the Senate, then the Senate's sole responsibility is to make the determination on whether or not the president is impeached.
No, removed from office.
He is
impeached. He
right.
just hasn't been removed yet.
Whether the technical aspects of it, they had an impeachment and vote
to
do
that.
You
two.
Yes. Whether that.
all they can do is offer articles of impeachment.
Right.
They cannot impeach the president. So therefore, what I'm saying is that the president technically has not been impeached. Bill Clinton was impeached. Okay, the House and the Senate decided that they were going to impeach the president, and they did.
Yeah, let's stop with the technical stuff. Let's get back to the part of that. Why didn't
tell him, Dwayne? Tell him.
Let
him talk.
Let
the man talk.
If they were really sincere, and Newt was in '98. I mean, he sent him up there to the trial and got his ass handed to him. If Nancy Pelosi and all these guys and Nadler and stuff were in there, that's the big question that should be asking. People on the Democratic side should be demanding of them to send the articles of impeachment to the Senate if they really believe that he should be that. What I'm saying is they know that even the vast, probably the majority of their supporters don't want that, like the guy in Iowa said. They're playing politics with that, being chicken bleep about it, and not having enough balls to go up there and say, this is, if you started the process, then finish it. Let's see how it goes.
They're not going to do that. You know that. You know what? We've already heard the murmurs. What is she going to do? Now they're going to try to go back to their grab bag of tricks and find something else they can delay this on and have more hearings. Well, here's the other catch-22. The Senate does not have to wait until they receive the articles of impeachment. They can go forward on a trial on their own. They don't have to wait.
Which is what I would do. If I was Mitch McConnell, I'd call it up. I'd subpoena every stupid witness in there, everybody, and said, let's put all this stuff out on the table and see what really happened.
Yes, and get it done.
Yes.
Don't wait on these numbers.
Yeah, I would. I'd pull it up there. You know, let's see. You want to hear the dirty laundry about everything? We'll run 24/7, 365. Let's see if PMS, NBC, or whatever the hell it is, and Fox and all of them want to run this 24/7, 365. Because the Senate, you can filibuster this stuff. They can run all the time, and if you don't have 60 votes to cut it off, it'll keep going. So that's what I would do. I'd say, you know what? You can cancel your Christmas vacation, New Year's, and everything else. We are going to hear impeachment hearings. Now, this is what you wanted? Then let's go for it. That's what I would do.
You know damn well they are not going to cancel their vacation. It's not going to happen. There's only been a couple of times they've canceled a vacation, and that was to either start a war or to, make sure the budget got kicked down the road a little bit so that the checks didn't quit coming to their friends around the home. They're not going to. There's no way they're going to come. Much as I'd like to see it.
No, I got to be the ones that's worried. That's an intentional trying to strike.
In other important news, really quick, I want to say this. Anne wrote in that Duke will be 7 years old on December 24th, and that's tomorrow. Thanks, Anne, for letting us know. Happy birthday to Duke.
Yes, happy birthday to Duke, and that's one of the. Well, not necessarily one of the things about canines is they usually don't. 7 years old is kind of old. Most of them are usually don't. That's about the time they pass away because they're
what?
Yeah, because they're so highly trained on that.
What are you talking about?
That they do that.
Yeah, they usually retire those service dogs at about 8.
They retire them, not.
No, usually 7 or 8's about when they retire them, and usually after they retire. Unfortunately,
after that they'll probably retire him.
They don't usually last very long because that's why they do, because you got to tell that's a highly that dog is highly trained to do that all the time, so they're like it's like running your car like a race car engine. Don't last very. The car in your car will last 200,000 miles because you hardly use it. Race car engine lasts about, like in a top fuel in like 6 seconds because it's producing 10,000.
How did you go from dogs to that?
Because I can just segue. I can segue into anything at any time.
Rex writes in, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Rex, call in on the phone, 951-242-5397. Give us somebody call in. Give us
a freaking job, dude. What's the number again? 951.
Watch the.
I said frickin', and you've been dropping bomb words this entire show. 951-242-5397. I said frickin'. Oh, yeah, on the radio. I didn't get fined for it, so.
Yeah, I wouldn't bring that up because I don't know if
I'm
there's
just
any
kidding. That didn't
statute.
happen.
Yes, that we did that, but no, it's a whole thing, for all this. But I want to get to the whole flap on the Saturday Night Live Eddie Murphy, Bill Cosby whole rendition on that, because that was their. What has it been? 30 years since Eddie Murphy's been on Saturday Night Live, which is probably really. Saturday Night, with just a lot of great comic actors or comedians that really launched their career, probably was the beginning of Eddie Murphy's rise to stardom across the board. So it was pretty cool that he came back to Saturday Night Live on that and gave us an update about what's going on, which is kind of interesting, for him bringing up how his life has changed. In the last 35 years, from, probably being from a, nobody knew who he was, to television star, to ultra, big movie star, one of the top rated actors in Hollywood, across that, to now what he's doing now, which was very interesting, or how his life has evolved to that. So, let's run the first the Eddie Murphy clip as he's doing his intro on Saturday Night Live. So when you got that ready, yes, the Eddie Murphy monologue, and we'll let that rip as soon as you get it up to playing on the video. Yes. Okay, the first one should be the first one on Eddie at Saturday Night Live as he's bringing it in, yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, Eddie Murphy!
Eddie Murphy making his much anticipated return to Saturday Night Live for the first time since 1984. He is now the father of 10 children. Murphy did not pull any punchlines.
My kids are actually pretty much my whole life now. And you know what? But if you would have told me 30 years ago that I would be this boring, stay-at-home, house dad, and Bill Cosby would be in jail. Even I would have took that bet. I'll tell you, who is America's dad now?
One person not laughing at that impersonation of Cosby as Cliff Huxtable, Cosby's indignant publicist, who wrote, "One would think Mr. Murphy was given his freedom to leave the plantation so he could make his own decisions, but he decided to sell himself back to being a Hollywood slave." As for the rest of the show, Murphy revived some of his most memorable characters.
The white people came and changed everything, but I am still your neighbor.
We ordered a new 72-inch Samsung TV, and they said it was delivered, but it's not in the lobby. And we were wondering if you knew anything about that?
Don't worry, boys and girls. Mr. Robinson knows just what to say in situations like this. Oh, you think I stole your TV because I'm black? Can you believe the nerve of them boys and girls? There's a special word for that.
That was some class, and why Eddie Murphy was such a great comedian on that. But and those of you, it was especially great to watch on video. I mean, he had the Cosby facial expressions down pat on that, which is
so someone had a problem with that.
Mr. Bill Cosby himself, as you've seen through
his publicist.
Well, yeah,
we don't know specifically.
Well, who's other than?
But if you can't joke about it, I mean, then.
Well, no, what he said was absolutely true.
It was correct. That's why you should laugh about it. I mean,
the ironically, in the backstory behind this that's been coming out about this is back in the day when Eddie was coming up and starting to really hit the stardom after Saturday Night Live and coming up that, and then he got, like I say, Eddie wasn't, against rolling out the F word and stuff in his comedy and doing that, which a lot of them do, Richard Pryor and all, a lot before him have done when he was doing his, his comedy acts and stuff. And Cosby was raking him over the coals, saying, you shouldn't do the dirty comedy, making a, that's not necessary, so that's the backstory, I think, behind this. And what Eddie Murphy was saying is, isn't it ironic? Here I was supposedly the bad boy, bad guy, doing all this stuff, yada yada yada, and here's Mr. Clean Cosby, who's doing that. Which his comedy is absolutely great. And one of the great things that I remember about Bill Cosby was he could be absolutely just dead drop funny and not use any off-color 4-letter words or anything out. That was the beauty behind his comedy too. But him to say, in the appropriate place, I don't have a problem with either one. I enjoy both of those type of venues, as long as you're not doing the off-color stuff around kids or some, stuff like that. If it's in a nightclub, with all adults, so that, that's fine too. But for Cosby to tell him not to do that, because Eddie does good, his films were great. He could do the good comedy stuff, even like on going back to the Saturday night clips. That was, there was nothing, nothing off color per se or that of the skits you said, but they were funny and they made a point. Maybe they made a point a little bit different than Cosby did or whatever, but it in both of their cases, at least from mine, even in their comedy and stuff, it always made you pause. It made me pause to think about things of the broader meaning and what they were trying to come out, like the Mr. Robinson skit with Eddie Murphy. There is a tendency to do that, and that point should be made. But what is ironic, like Eddie said, I would have took that bet. I'm the one standing here, Mr. Clean, and it's Mr. Cosby that's sitting behind, looking out from the bars of the Gray Bar Motel.
He got in trouble for a lot of things.
Yes.
But it wouldn't surprise. Look, the guy was 19 years old when he was on SNL. 19 when Bill Cosby dressed him down. You didn't get to see it. You probably don't have the clip. But Joe Piscopo talked about.
Oh, we got it. No, that's coming up.
Oh, okay. And he said that it really devastated Eddie Murphy because he had looked up to Bill Cosby, and Cosby dressed him down. And I agree with you. There's room for both. Look, if you don't like that level of comedy that Eddie Murphy did in his Raw stuff early on with HBO and whatnot, don't watch it. We grew up listening to Cheech and Chong and George Carlin,
Flip Wilson.
Flip
Wilson's another great
Pryor.
example. When he had his variety show 1 hour, he could do absolutely great, funny. Again, the only church that I still really belong to is Reverend Leroy in the Church of What's Happening Now. That's
There
just
you go.
I love the skits that he did of that on the variety show were absolutely freaking hilarious on that. But you could get Flip Wilson in the nightclub and do that, or Red Fox, Sanford and Son of that. You get them guys in the Reverend Leroy. We're gonna have to find the clip on YouTube. The Reverend Leroy and Red Fox on that is absolutely.
Oh geez.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about. That is classic. We're gonna have to play that sometime. But no, they could work both ends of it in the appropriate medium of that, and that's what the whole deal is about. But it is the irony of the situation, like Eddie pointed out, in that clip. I wouldn't have took that. I wouldn't have took that bet when I was doing it. That 35 years later,
that was hilarious though.
The roles were. So, what do you think about it?
I thought it was funny. I can see where he's upset because it is like a personal kind of like little dig, I guess. But at least they're making it funny, and it's not like a negative. Oh my gosh, look at what you did. You're a horrible person. Like, try to laugh about it. I don't know, but I can see where they'd be upset completely too.
The art of comedy is making fun of the absurdity of everyday life. And if Piscopo mentioned this, he says, can't we just laugh about stuff anymore? Why does everything have to be so damn serious?
Exactly.
You got to laugh or you're going to cry. You got to just get, occasionally you have to move with this stuff, and don't be so rigid. that you can't poke fun at any one group. I mean, if you really want to see something, go back and play any of the old Jack Benny stuff. I mean, here's a guy that's been long gone, all right? I mean, you want to talk about some racy stuff. I mean, some of the jokes that they had, even Bob Hope and on his shows. I mean, today the censors or the writers wouldn't come up with that stuff because they're so damn afraid of, any repercussions. We need to get back to I think Eddie's spot on. We need to get back to just laughing at each other at the absurdity of things.
No, it is,
but it's not going to hurt you if you laugh a little
I mean,
bit.
it's same thing. The last time I was at a comedy club at the S Bar up here in Moreno Valley. I mean, I'm going back and forth with the comedians up there, back and forth.
So embarrassing.
And
Don't ever go to a comedy club
No,
with Roy.
and when we were all done, I mean, they all come up and said, "Hey, that was great,"
Thanks for letting us make fun of you.
Yeah, and all that stuff, because it was fun. The banter back and forth is great, and we didn't take it personally. Because it is comedy and it is stuff like that. And the points made, you can make points with in a situation like that, and like you're doing, however you're doing it, and in the crowd of there. But again, even some of the stuff like that was, or like we were doing back a couple months ago or stuff of that, and what we're doing today, and what Eddie did with the Mr. Robinson skit again. It is making a point, and it does make you think, and I think a comedy like that, it should bring people together in that environment. And if you don't take it personally like that, it will. And you look at it from the perspective of, I'm seeing the world how somebody else sees it,
right?
And that's what ultimately will make everything work. I think Cosby's, or through his publicists, saying that Eddie's a slave of Hollywood and trying to dress him down over that, and saying he's on the plantation, exactly stamps what Mason Weaver has said, many times in his book, about leaving the plantation, his very famous book of that. Those are the ones that are saying that, that are saying that those over there are keeping you on the plantation are the ones that are keeping you on the plantation, Allah, and the ones that are accusing are the ones that are trying to set you free. And I think in this case, it's no clearer example of that on that. That's kind of how I took it.
What? I'm just kidding. I agree with you. You're right.
Oh gosh, you're kidding.
I'm just kidding.
She said she agrees with Roy.
On that, so let's get to the before
I'm trying to get a bonus, okay, people? I mean,
yeah. Everybody's got a
so
motivation
smart.
for doing something. Let's get to the joke. That's the Joe Piscopo clip, which is the fourth one. Yeah, let's roll this one. As we're clicking on it and getting ready to hit it, so voice is coming out of the computer.
Wow.
Why is it not playing? It's up on the screen.
Like you.
Yeah.
So why he tries to fix that? Why don't you read your Christmas card that I got you?
You got me a Christmas
card?
Did. Wow.
That's all I got you, because
well, that's all.
You got to read it out loud, though.
A holiday poem. When Christmas gets stressful and the tense can be, remember the angel on top of the tree, on top of your tree, who keeps smiling joyfully no matter what. Let's see what this. So I got to just think how you feel with a tree up your butt, trying not to think about it, and enjoy your holidays. Merry Christmas, baby Rose. That's apropos. Yeah, no, that probably fits me.
That was so funny.
Because that's probably what you're thinking. You probably want to
shove a tree up your
well, I know that would make your holiday just bright as.
Well, that's just kind of weird.
Bright as can be.
Susan writes in ugly sweater that I won. I won ugly sweater.
Oh, you already won the ugly sweater contest.
Cosby spokesperson is blasting Murphy's skit on Instagram, calling him a Hollywood slave. Cosby was found guilty, of course, of sexual assault last year. What did you think about that?
Well, I remember I was there when Bill Cosby, who I always had immense respect for and worked with the great Cosby before all the problems, And I have to tell you this, when Eddie got the call from Bill Cosby early on, and I was there at the 17th floor, I was in my office, Eddie walked in so devastated. I said, Eddie, he was 19 years old. What happened? Cosby just called me, man. He railed me for being too dirty. He railed me. He yelled at me for like 20 minutes and I remember how hurt Eddie was because Cosby was Eddie's hero, so for it to turn around like this, you know what? It's all, in comedy, all's fair in love and comedy.
Yeah, no,
Maria
the whole thing is
Bartiromo.
really sad to see the way Cosby has plummeted and what has taken place that we never knew before. But
the video, no, that was the video froze up, but that was a pertinent. Oh, that was it? Okay. That was it. That was on MSNBC, Joe Piscopo, or no, that was on Fox, excuse me. But no, that was Joe Piscopo, and he had, that was kind of the whole thing that was going on. I mean, the irony of this whole thing is absolutely incredible on that, how the
I just don't get why we need to make a deal about it, though. Like, I feel like the media talking about it this much is making it a negative thing. Why can't we laugh about it, move on, see that somebody made a mistake, and this person's now shining a little bit brighter, and be done with it, right?
Well, and here's another thing. Why doesn't Bill Cosby look at it in a different way and say, hey, the young man became a solid citizen. He's a father. Maybe he took some of my advice.
But would you want to take his advice? He's in jail.
Cosby's the one that's responsible for Cosby's behavior.
Right.
Eddie's responsible for Eddie's behavior. So, if in fact there was some influence from Bill Cosby to Eddie Murphy, and it was positive, obviously, the guy is not fallen into I don't believe he's fallen into the trap of Hollywood. He seems pretty low key, and he keeps his kids out of the limelight. He doesn't do stand up that often anymore, which is a shame because I thought he was absolutely brilliant. Right. And I really enjoyed his stand up. And quite frankly, I don't think, this is a shot in the arm to SNL because they've been deader than a hammer for a decade at least. I mean, I quit watching after all of the Eddie Murphy crowd, really. I mean, Joe Piscopo was just as funny, by the way. I used to love to watch him do his hyper Joe Piscopo live sports thing on SNL News. I thought it was great.
Sportscaster on cocaine or something, on speed.
I mean, look, there was some talented people at the very beginning of SNL, and the writing has just gotten really just hackneyed and old, and how many times are you going to do the same thing over and over again? And they got onto this whole thing with Alec Baldwin and bashing Trump. Hey, I'm not saying that it can't be funny, but you don't do it every other week. At some point in time, people are just going to get wore out and turn the channel. I mean, look, if you're making fun of the guy, I think, go ahead, make fun. I don't have a problem with that. What I don't like is when they're vicious about it and it turns into personal animus. That's my problem with it. But just having comedy for the sake of, I mean, I saw a little snippet of some of the stuff he did. I must confess I haven't watched SNL in, like I said, probably decades now. But I grew up with it, and Eddie Murphy was funny then. He's funny now. And had I known that he was going to be on the show, I would have turned in to watch it, simply because I thought he was brilliant. And I still think he is. I think he's a very funny guy.
Yeah, after 35 years of not being on the show, it looked like he never left. I mean,
coming back. Maybe that's him, like, doing, like, a breakthrough, like, to come back? Like, putting himself back out there?
Yeah, I mean, and to...
I mean, that would be cool.
Yeah, and again, I don't understand the whole thing about Cosby, rolling that out, other than, hey, we're looking at it from the standpoint of, hey, is he, why would you do that? I mean, I just don't, it's so, up till a couple of years ago, it's so 180-degree opposite, I think I and most everybody had the impression of Bill Cosby. And that it kind of makes you wonder which is the real Bill Cosby. Did he always like that and cover it up? Or
And we have a caller.
Oh, we finally have a caller calling in. So who we got on the line?
1, 2, 3. Merry Christmas, Roy!
There you go. Who we got? Hello?
Say your name.
Oh.
Tian, Evan, Leah, Lucy.
There we go. Got all that stuff. So just let me pause for a minute. Dwayne, could you hear the callers coming in?
No, I can't.
Okay,
Zero
so
up.
got it. So we'll have to work on that. So, Merry Christmas. Yeah, Merry Christmas to all you fine, upstanding new young citizens that are coming up, and mom, mom of our producer extraordinaire Lucy, who is there. I bet you don't miss coming in here running the dials and stuff on this stuff over here.
No, I do miss that part.
That it is kind of fun to learn all that stuff. So you guys all you kids having a great time over there?
Yeah, I'm just playing a little cotton ball game with the boys, so they're kind of getting the hang of that. So that's kind of cool.
So what's the cotton ball game?
You know, you throw a bunch of cotton balls on the floor, and then you cover their eyes, and then they pick up with a big spoon and scoop it into a bowl. So right now.
So you willingly made a mess that you're going to have to clean up later in hopes that my children blindfolded are going to clean it up.
I did, and then I got little Coda trying to snag all the cotton balls, little shit. So, Roy,
we're definitely going to have to work on that dump button.
Oh, my bad.
She got you a gift and she wanted you to open it.
Oh, where is it? Okay.
It's the front one.
It's the front one, so we're getting it on the, so this is it, there must be some sort of trick to it. Does it talk?
I don't know. You have to
Oh, there
open
it is. Oh, so it's playing. It's a hillbilly Santa is what I'm getting.
Exactly.
Yes.
I saw that and I thought of you right away.
Yes. What else would you think of as a hillbilly Santa with the sunglasses?
I'm sorry.
Very appropriate for. I really appreciate it. Thank you for all that. You got any Christmas cheer you want to shout out to anybody along the line?
Of course. All my family and friends, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
There you go.
Thanks for calling in. Wish your kids a
All
Merry
right.
Christmas.
Merry Christmas, boys. Why are you
Merry
making
Christmas, Mommy. Come on. Say it. Merry Christmas.
There you go. Thanks for
they love you.
You got it.
I love them more.
You got it. Thanks
All
for
right.
calling in, Lucy, and giving us a phone test on that because we got some more work for your middle son to do because we're still.
Well, you got 8 minutes to do it in, so hurry up.
Putting the pressure. That's
him,
Mom
not
putting the
me.
pressure on Sonny Boy there to get it done.
The boys are waiting to open their gifts, and they can't do it until Mommy gets here.
There you go.
You better not hold me over. They're going to come after
Yes,
you.
they're going to be doing that on the deal. Thanks for
You
calling.
have to worry about me. Okay.
There you go. Thanks for calling in. Because if you keep on the phone, I will overrun it, and then
Okay, bye.
and I'll get
Bye,
blamed
Lucy.
for it.
Bye.
Any final thoughts on anything that went on? Anybody you want to wish a Merry Christmas to, Dwayne?
Everybody. You know what? I think it's long overdue that we've been looking at the downside of everything. I think it's time for everybody to have a Merry Christmas, and I hope everybody enjoys the New Year.
Amen.
Amen.
You got it. Thanks for being on, Dwayne. Well, we got one more test, but we're gonna have to hold you on again probably and just a show programming note. We'll be off Tuesday and Wednesday for Christmas Eve and Christmas, but we'll be back.
Miracle.
Yes, we'll be back Thursday and Friday, so we might have to lean on you again on Thursday and see if we can get this phone thing figured out.
Okay, we'll see what we can do.
You got it, and appreciate it. Merry Christmas to you and everybody up there across that and everywhere else on that. Have a great holiday season, and get ready for 2020. It's going to be totally badass.
It's going to be amazing.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
You got
Merry
it.
Christmas.
Thanks. On that, so before we sign off on here, do you want to make any Christmas wishes to anyone? Say anything, final thoughts for that before we head into the holiday Christmas day.
No. by making them wait. No, I don't. Just Merry Christmas to everybody that I know and love, but I'm going to say that to them personally. I don't need to say it on here. I'm just kidding. Merry Christmas, baby bro.
Merry Christmas.
Uh-oh.
Of that. Oh, we got to. Well, answer the phone. We'll put them on. We'll see if they see who's on there. Maybe they want to make us.
And Merry Christmas to all our viewers too. 'Cause
Yes,
they're awesome.
of
Can't do it without
everybody.
them.
And
happy
we're
holidays, happy Hanukkah.
we're building the audience
everything
bigger
else.
and badder every day. And like you say, we're gonna
I'm
really.
trying to get Roy to stop talking a little bit so we don't scare you guys away. But that'll be 2020.
Fat chance of that.
I know.
I don't know when. I guess do I talk more as I age?
I mean, do I have to answer that honestly?
Yes.
Christmas is in a couple days, so I don't want to be mean.
You can be mean.
No, you don't talk more. I think you're actually talking less these days, and I'm talking a little bit more.
That's good.
A little bit.
Of the whole enchilada. That no.
Stop with the enchiladas. It makes me hungry every time you say it.
That's why I say it.
Stop. Oh.
There you go.
Thanks, Doris.
Doris from Memphis says Merry Christmas and keep laughing. And I'm going to add to that, always put a big smile on your face. Do you notice that I do that a lot? People say I'm negative, but I'm the
You
one
look
that's always
insane when you do it, though.
that I.
People wonder why the hell is this guy smiling, and then you look like you're ready.
Man,
to kill
now
people.
everybody see they're
And
lighting
then
up the
it's
phone
like-
lines now that we're. This happens every time when you do this. You like they know nothing, and then once somebody starts calling, everybody starts calling in on the.
Because they say that you're not going to rip them apart.
When have I ever done that? I'm such a
just
mild
kidding. You've never
mannered.
done
So we have another caller on that. Who we got on the line?
This is Nathan.
Hi,
Hey, Nathan. Merry Christmas.
How are you?
I'm absolutely fantastic. How are you?
I'm great, and never better because
You
I'm
got
sitting
that.
here next to this
Right
wonderful
now?
man.
Of that, what you want to give a shout out to anybody, Nathan?
Oh, no to mind at this point. Sorry.
Oh, nothing, no problem. So thanks for calling in, being on the show, and tune in, keep tuning in, and we're
Tune in
gonna
Monday. We
yes,
have a big announcement on Monday.
Yes, we do. So that see if there's another one. I think we had another call rolling up on the line. See if we got one more left on there before we bail out of this stuff of all that.
Did you just hang up on Nathan? Thanks for calling in, Nathan. We appreciate it.
Yes, we like it, Nathan. Yeah, we're getting to the end of the show. Everybody's rolling up on the end of the deal. So, yeah, we want to get you.
Whoever might have been calling in, call back because I
If you can,
think we
yeah,
need you
if
to.
there was somebody in there, if you want to get a quick Christmas wish or give a shout out to anybody, give us a call here real quick before we.
or a Happy New Year.
Or a Happy New Year coming
Or
on.
tell us how. You know, we should do a New Year's show. We should do a New Year's show. We didn't really do a Christmas one.
Well, we did today.
Ish.
Yeah, look at all the good stuff on that. There's that one caller coming in. Let's see if we can get them on the line real quick. See if Jesse can.
He has an off button. He has an on and off.
You're trying to figure out how to put that. So we got that. Do we got so? Yes, we got a caller on there. Quick, what you got to say?
Hello there, Sonny boy.
That's Pop on there.
Hi, Pop.
How's
Yeah.
it? What do you want to say? We're quick. We're
Yeah, well, I would just say tell everybody in your new crew and hope your new show, whatever, comes out good. And Merry Christmas and Happy New Year and have a successful next year.
I couldn't agree with you more, and I give you that a big amen, Pop. And
Merry
yeah,
Christmas
we'll
to you and Ann.
you got it, and we'll have we definitely will be building this bigger and badder and brighter coming in 2020.
Yeah, you've got a lot of time to do it in.
Yeah.
Don't put the pressure on us, please.
No, that for coming from Pop, that is a very easiest pressure on that. Nobody can ratchet. Anybody that knows my dad or seen him on that, nobody can ratchet up the pressure quite like Pete Blecker can when he wants to. But that's why we love you all. Love you, Pop, on that. Yeah, we're gonna do it on that. Thanks for calling in there right on the end of that.
Okay. I just want to let you know we're out here in this other end.
You got it.
Okay, bye.
Every day's a great day. You're on the top side of the grass.
Yep.
You got it. There you go. This is a great gift. Your mom thinks from the coffee cup to this. Your mom's, at least for me, your mom's spot on gifts. Does she do that with everybody? Is she one of those natural? No, it's like me. I can't. I absolutely hate shopping. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm totally retarded on it.
I'm an expert at it.
Yes. Some people.
What can I say? Just
I'm
comes
not.
Naturally. Spotting money with ease. Give me some and I'll show you.
You got it.
Kidding.
Any more parting words going out before
but I
Christmas
hope everybody
Day?
has a very Merry Christmas. Spend time with your loved ones.
That's
Enjoy it. Laugh. Don't fight. Don't hide in closets away from relatives that you don't want to see because you never know how long they're going to be around for. I'll be running from this guy, though, for sure.
That's it. Get away from me. I always say my ability to clean out a room is absolutely amazing. Yes, it is. It's amazing. People, oh no, here he comes again. Mm-hmm. But it's all good and fun.
It is.
It is. Again, have a great Christmas. Christmas Eve.
Stay dry out there.
If you're making that last minute shopping, just chill out. You'll get it done. And if you don't, add a gift in afterwards. As people, it's the thought that counts.
Exactly.
You got it. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever you're celebrating. Or if you don't celebrate anything, again, as we're saying, we're about ready to close out 2019, and most people say that's the end of the decade. We're going to start a new decade, and let's look for a bigger, brighter, and better future coming in 2020 and beyond.
Wow. Could I have said it better myself? I probably could have, but I didn't try. Anyways, like we normally say,
we're gone.
We're gone.